got to see him as teacher. Did I tell you that?
No.
We hung up out in Ohio. He's Mr. Professor now, too.
Right. Well, he has the Camp Electric, right, where he teaches people freestyle.
That's it.
That's
what
impressive.
don't you do, Mr. KJ52? No, it's great. Oh, your kids are comedic relief for this guy. That's a... well, it's Tweezy Tuesday, and we always set this time aside to be able to chat with you about what's going on in your world. And I wasn't just saying all that stuff, man. You've got a ton of great thoughts for us. So what do you got for us today?
Last week, I swung by the Rolling Stone, not Rolling Stone. I swung by to get pick up a magazine on my way out to fly. Actually, I was heading on up to. Hey, buddy, can you sit over there, please? Thank you. I was heading on up to Camp Electric, actually. And when I fly, there's always that 10-minute window when you take off and 10-minute when you land, where you literally can't do anything. They strip you of all your superpowers. Can't use your phone. Can't watch your television set. Can't do anything. And so I usually reserve that time to read some magazines or whatever. So wasn't even thinking about it. Walked up, snagged this magazine, one of the many music magazines I'll pick up just to stay on what's going on music-wise. And it's like 5 in the morning, so I'm completely out of it. The lady looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you better hang on to that. That's going to be a collector's item someday." And I'm thinking, it's just I looked down and realized that it was the cover with the Boston Bomber.
Yeah.
And the way she said it was kind of flippant, oh, da-da-da. And I looked down, I'm like, and I just blurted out, I'm like, I really hope this doesn't become a collector's item. She was basically telling me that they were pulling, a lot of places were pulling the magazine, and they were boycotting the magazine and things like that. And so me trying to, of course, live my entire life in the public spectacle, takes a picture of it, post it to my Instagram, get on my plane, didn't even think about it. By the time I landed, I think pretty much all of Facebook had unfollowed me. People were proposing boycotts of me on my Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. But there was a few of my social media peeps that were very upset that I would post this picture. And I just, really all I wrote was the literal conversation that I had just had, which was, this will be a collector's item. I said, I hope not. This is not voicing my approval of the cover. I was essentially saying, no, I'm not. I don't think this is cool that they put this on the cover. A lot of people were still ticked that I bought the magazine. But I'll be honest with you, my thoughts are not as clear at 5 in the morning in hindsight. So, thumbing through the magazine, reading the article. Of course, I've been reading Rolling Stone and all those trade magazines for years, and so they don't represent by any means a biblical conservative thought process. Why I would expect them to do that would be beyond me, or why anybody would think that they would. But all that to be said, someone had also brought up the point was, if this same whole nother magazine like Time had put the Bombers on the cover, would people be in an uproar? Mm-hmm. They were mad at Rolling Stone for doing it because they're a music magazine versus Time or Newsweek, which just report the news. All that to be said, I did notice the way they kind of portrayed the guy on the cover, the brother. It was very reminiscent of the classic Jim Morrison picture from The Doors. Mm-hmm. And not that I'm a big Doors fan by any means, but I had a best friend growing up that was a huge Doors fan, so he always had that iconic picture. And to me, it looked like they were basically trying to portray this guy as this sort of misunderstood victim of his circumstance type of person.
Yeah.
Which all begs the question, in my opinion, have we come to the point where, one, are we trying to turn terrorists into rock stars, or number two, it made me frustrated because I thought, why is this guy allowed to, and I'm just being transparent, why is he allowed to live when I have multiple friends right now that are suffering with some really debilitating situations. It's kind of one of those classic situations. Why does this guy have the power to take a life in the name of... And after reading the article, I'll be honest, I wasn't super familiar with what his motives were, but it did seem to be sort of militant Muslim driven to some extent. And my thought process was, why is someone like this allowed to take many lives, and his brother to snuff out the lives of so many? But then, in other words, God, why do you spare somebody like this, and then those that are out doing your will get struck with cancer, or get struck with a debilitating disease, or have to suffer through the loss of somebody they love, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like the classic, like, why does God let good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people? And all that was going through my head, and I read Psalm 37, which, not to read the whole thing, but it basically just says, don't fret when evil men prosper, or really just put the whole thing in perspective. Essentially saying, yes, we feel this way, yes, it's frustrating, yes, it's heartbreaking, yes, it is all those things, and yes, God is in control, and ultimately there will be justice. It was just kind of a gut check about the whole thing. And on a side note, I threw the magazine away.
Good. And it's documented. We've got that on tape. The man has thrown the magazine away.
Yes, to be clear, I did throw the magazine away.
Yeah.
But man, do we live in an evil world? I'll tell you that. They did sort of a profile on this kid, and they talked about how, you know, his parents had split, and he'd come to the country, he wasn't really connecting, and things like that, and that his older brother essentially really got into militant Islam, and that sort of influenced what eventually happened. And I'm not saying that every Muslim is a terrorist by any means, but I was just kind of blown away by the whole situation. I don't think I have a great answer for the whole thing. I just kind of felt like, man, do something, God, because I have a couple people in my life right now that are going through some junk, and it's very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, I know you do. We've talked about that on some other times with you, and I think I think the thing that so freaks me out so much about all this, and again, it's not rocket science, but it seems like in the last 10, maybe 20 years, villains seem to get a whole lot more press, and we've got a generation that's seen extreme terrorism, not just in the name of Allah, but all over the world, of just selfish terrorism. And they're making the cover of Rolling Stone. It's kind of like, well, what do I need to do to get my flashbang? What do I want to be known for? And the sad reality is that we're celebrating more and more and more what it means to live a destructive lifestyle. And a remedy, we're trying to do everything we can to help people stay away from that kind of living.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy too that they got most of their instructions on how to build their bombs off the internet.
Yeah.
And actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, they ordered the stuff they needed.
Okay, before you give the URL to the website they bought the stuff, please don't do that.
No, but I will give a URL.
Okay, good.
Segue, which is remedylive.com. Obviously, turn it in, but if you're out there, maybe you're dealing with something like this, similar, not necessarily this extreme, but if you're dealing with something where you maybe there is somebody in your life that's going through some junk, and you're kind of questioning, like, why, you can definitely hit up Soul Medic at 313-131-REMEDY and talk to somebody. I get emails and calls and text messages like this all the time, so I know there's some people out there that are hurting right now.
Absolutely. Well, we're grateful for your friendship and your partnership. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on in your life in regards to fitness. Cha-Ching, my co-host, she told me today she's sore because she was running, and I asked her, why do you run? And she says, because I eat a lot of food. What are you training for? Because last I saw you were training indeed.
Yeah. Well, the coming up in about a month and a week or two, it is the Run for Joy 5K with Audio Adrenaline and Colton Dixon, and for King and Country. Down in, it's called the Run for Joy because it's right around the same time of Night of Joy. And so I'm trying to get ready. I used to run track back in high school. I never ran distance, but I ran half the distance. So I got to train twice as hard now. Yeah, you can. I would really appreciate it if you guys would sponsor me. We're trying to reach a goal. If you're anywhere in the Orlando area and you want to run with me, you can certainly do that. That would be awesome for you to join Team Tweezy. The top 3 sponsors we're doing. We have custom Nikes, courtesy of my homeboy Big E over at Nike.
Wow.
He's kind of stepping up to the plate and helping me out. So, also in conjunction with the whole thing, every Wednesday we'll be dropping, thanks to you guys over here at Remedy, is Workout Wednesday, which is not just about fitness, but it really is about growing your spirit, man, at the same time, too. I do a little short devotional. We dropped one last week, but we'll also be doing one basically every week, going all the way up to the 5K, which is September 5th.
That's great.
September 6th, I'm sorry.
Very cool. Well, I need to get in action too. I'm going to be running the Fort for Fitness. Did I tell you that?
No,
So
that's good.
I've already picked out my
3K?
paramedic
Oh, nice.
that I'm going to be running with.
I think if you could just, like, for everyone, if there was Krispy Kreme donuts at the very end.
Sponsored by Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you feel justified, you burn the calories, now it's time for a little hot and ready.
Well, that's it, friend. Well, thanks, bro, for joining us again. It's always good to be with you, Tweezy. Take care, comb your hair, all right?
Thank you, guys. Check out this video. It talks all about it.
All right, good stuff. Again, always good to be with Tweezy. We're going to check out a video now that he was talking about. So take a look at this, and we'll be right back after this to give away some stuff.
I have KJ52.
I am KJ52. I am KJ52. I want for joy. I want for joy.
I went for Joe.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy KJ here. No, I'm not trying to look like a Jedi. I'm not trying to be an actor in Rocky 17. I'm getting ready. I'm training right now. As you can tell, I'm right here on the treadmill. I'm getting ready for the Run for Joy 5K. I want you guys to be a part of it. You can go check out my page right there on the website, right there. Boom, check it out. It's right there. You can run with me on Team Tweezy, or you can sponsor me. The top 3 sponsors, my top 3 sponsors, get an amazing grand prize of some custom, brand new Nike running shoes, courtesy of your boy Tweezy. So you want to be a part of it. Check out that link. Be a part of me with the Run for Joy. Here I go. We won't run backwards, I promise. Woo.
Hey, here's what I want to do. Who was our number